Okay, so today's video is not the video you deserve, but it is the video you need. Okay, now why have I started this video off with a Batman quote? I honestly just thought it would sound cool. I don't even think it's relevant to the video I'm going to do, but yeah, anyway, let's get into the video. So today's video, I'm not expecting many people to watch this video. Okay, I'm not expecting many people to click, and especially I'm not expecting people to continue watching, because this video, it's a bit of a different one. It's a bit more of a mindset video, so it's not like, oh, assessment center, interviews, group exercise, whatever. It's more of a mindset video that I think is going to be valuable. So to the 99 of you who are still watching, I think a lot of you are going to find this really valuable. Okay, because this was something that I used to struggle with, and then I don't anymore. Okay, and I think it's a mindset that is going to serve you throughout this application process. Okay, on a micro level, on a macro level, and also for the rest of your life as well. Okay, and it will just be, I think if you haven't heard about it before, it'll at least be interesting to hear about it. And with this video as well, I completely get that some people are going to disagree. Some people are going to disagree with this mindset, which I say. Awesome. Go put it in the comments below. I'd love to have a chat and see what you guys think. I know I disagree, and I agree, whatever. It'd be cool to see what you guys' thoughts are. Okay. But I just wanted to film this video. Just like this was super spontaneous. I had the idea for this video like 30 minutes ago. So I just had my tea, came up here, and want to record this video now. Okay. Just because it's fresh in my mind. So what we're going to talk about today is Stoicism. So from my understanding, I'm definitely not an expert in Stoicism, and I'm definitely not like a perfect follower of Stoicism. So Stoicism it's like a sort of philosophy that you follow, or like a mindset or a belief system that you follow. Yeah. I'm not a complete expert in the whole of Stoicism, and I'm not like the best Stoic person in the whole world, right? But I have taken a thing or two, and I try to follow it where I can. Okay, and I just thought I'd bring this to you guys. So how to explain the Stoic philosophy? I just want to share this video with you, because I think this video will probably, I think it should explain Stoicism and being Stoic. So it's like the noun, like what it is, the thing is like Stoicism, and then it's like the adjective is Stoic, right? So like the thing is Stoicism, but you're Stoic. If you follow Stoicism, you're Stoic, okay? It's like Christianity, Christian, okay? Like you're a Christian, you follow Christianity, that sort of thing, okay? Let me share this video, and this will probably explain Stoicism better than I could in words, okay? And I'm probably going to get like copyright strike for this or something, but let's do it. Okay, so some of you are going to instantly know what I'm talking about. Other of you like, why are we analyzing YouTube Shorts right now? What's going on? Basically, the whole point of this, what this short is trying to say, right, is like Stoic people having the worst day of their life, right? And you're just sitting here like drinking a cup of coffee or eating a cereal bar. Okay, that's what like the key thing that video is trying to say there. So what does it mean? Basically, Stoicism is like a philosophy or a mindset where you just don't react emotionally to things. You're sort of stoic. You're just still. Something bad happens, you don't get emotional about it. Okay, and that's basically the pure fundamentals of Stoicism. Let me go and get the Google definition of it now. Stoicism definition. This will probably explain it better. Right? The endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings and without complaint. Okay, so I used to not be very stoic. Okay, so for example, when I'd be going to swimming training, right? I go to swimming training and we have like a set or a session. So the session is like, okay, you can do this many lengths of this stroke. You're going to do this, you can do this. So it's basically the coach saying, this is the session you're going to do. Now, we'd get a hard session and I just complain about it. Like, oh, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, I just complain about it, right? Or like another one that's a good example is like Harry, you know, like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle or whatever her name is. They like, some drama thing happened and they went over to like America and they were like living in like a mansion, like a multi-million-pound mansion in like Los Angeles or something, and they were complaining about not having enough money, or I don't really know what's going on. When like I used to hear those news stories back in the day, so like back in the day, I mean it wasn't that long ago, but like 2021, 2022, 2020, those stories used to annoy me so much. Like genuinely, I'd hear a story and I would literally get angry. I would get angry just hearing some like 5-minute news story about these two people who are nothing to do with me, who I don't know anything about, are doing this one thing, and I get super angry at them. right? And I just get super just, emotional and angry about it for no reason. Okay, or like some little political things I'd get really, really annoyed by, really frustrated, just super angry about little political things that are going on, right? And that's the opposite of stoicism. So that's, again, if something bad happens, there's a lot of display of feelings and complaining and that sort of thing. So like I remember, for example, when I had to have like a surgery, and basically it meant I was going to be out of swimming for like 6 months. I reacted very badly to that, very badly. I was very upset with that because I couldn't do any sport for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months or whatever it was. Yeah, and that's like the opposite of stoicism. That's where I used to be, like just completely emotional and not stoic. Okay, but stoicism is where these painful things or these hard, difficult things come, and you're not displaying feelings or emotions or complaining and all this sort of thing. Okay, and this is going to become relevant to degree apprenticeships, by the way. This is going somewhere. Okay, but this is just what stoicism is. And let me just show you some sort of tweets to illustrate this a bit better. Can I do that? Yeah. Okay, just to show you. So these are like 3 people in like the sort of stoic space. When I say stoic space, I mean this guy is dead. He's like a Roman. This is like someone who's made like a Twitter account or something. This guy's Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman. He might even have been a Roman emperor. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he was a Roman emperor. Okay, and it's these sort of things, right? Remember, you're going to die. Okay, so it's like the principle there is, okay, remember when we said without the display of feelings, without complaint. Okay, so it's like don't complain that you're going to die, or get emotional or upset that you're going to die. It's just remember you're going to die. Who cares, right? Care only about the things you can control. Don't get emotional about some random thing like Harry and Meghan, right? Just you can't control it. Who cares? Don't get worried about some random thing that's going to happen tomorrow or that's going to happen the next day because you can't control it. Just focus on the things you can control. Like a lot of anxiety and that sort of thing can be just solved through a stoic mindset. It's like you're worrying about something that's out of your control. Oh, I'm worrying about this happening, this happening, this happening. You can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. So just focus on what you can control. Prepare for the worst. The obstacle is the way. Suffering, going through hard things is the way. Going through hard, difficult things without complaining, just going and doing them. Okay, not letting the future disturb you. Okay, you're worrying about something that's going to happen in 3 years. Don't. Okay, just to live in the present. And that doesn't mean sacrifice your present by going and do stupid things like eating fast food and all that sort of stuff. No, it just means don't worry about the future. Okay, why should you feel anger at the world? As if the world's going to notice. The world doesn't care, so just don't get angry over stuff. But don't get angry over some random thing that happens in politics. Don't get angry over some random thing that happens in football. Like, just no one cares. Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. Okay, it's just don't worry about it. Seneca, he's another like Roman guy. Similar sort of thing, right? Let me show you a couple of quotes. Like, there's no easy way from Earth to the stars. You've got to be ready for that suffering. It's going to happen. Okay, but it's not like you're going to go through difficult things and complain about it and get all emotional and all this sort of thing. You're just going to, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so that's Seneca. Some of his quotes are a bit on other topics, which is why I'm not going to go for like this one here. What need is there to weep over parts of life that the whole of it calls for tears? Okay, and this is just going into like, again, this is going to be a very philosophical video, and I'm just making it because, to be honest, I want to make it. So I know people are going to watch this, and it's not going to be relevant for most people. But I know if there's at least one person who's watching this video and they find it useful, then it's worth my time making it, right? So basically, when you look at it, the whole of life is just suffering and this sort of thing. So when like there's a small thing that happens, or like an event happens, a tragic event, or something happens, there's no need to cry over it. Okay. Because like you could cry over, if you're going to cry over something, you might as well cry over the whole thing, and you don't want to cry over the whole thing, so then there's no point crying over anything. That's basically the point of it there. Okay, and then Ryan Holiday, he's not a Roman, he's a real guy who's alive right now. Again, similar sort of things. Yeah, stop wasting your time on these 3 things. Worrying about other people's opinions, judging other people, putting things off to the future, holding on to the past, arguing with reality, thinking you'll live forever. Relax, whatever it is, you're probably taking it too seriously. Like, whatever it is what it is. Remember this video here. Okay? Yeah, you're having the worst day of your life and you're eating a cereal bar. Okay, so that's what stoicism is. Okay? So, now, why is this all relevant? Okay, because I've gone on a big sort of 10-minute monologue on stoicism and what it is. It's going to be important for this application process because essentially you're going to go through things that are difficult, and you're going to go through like bad events. Now, in the scale of things, what are we talking about here? Okay, bad events. Well, there's actually sort of 2 scales of it. Okay, and there's these 2 parts of stoicism, which I think it's going to be key for you guys to try and develop or learn. I'm not really sure what phrase, like develop, believe in, I don't know, follow, maybe, I don't know. 2 types of stoicism. First one, and these 2 phrases, I don't know if they're real. I feel like I've just made them up. Micro stoicism and macro stoicism. That's how it made sense in my head. Okay, so let's start off with the macro stoicism. This is going to be important, okay? Because essentially, again, coming back to our definition that we said earlier, stoicism is the endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings and without complaint. Okay, so macro stoicism is you're going to go through a big pain about a big event that happens, and you need to just keep calm and carry on. Okay, for example, you get rejected from one of your degree apprenticeships, maybe even a key one, maybe even one, like your dream degree apprenticeship, you might get rejected. And for some people, that's going to be really bad. That's going to be really bad, and they're going to get upset and angry about that, right? And that's where the macro stoicism comes in, is when you inevitably get rejected from a degree apprenticeship, well, are you going to get disheartened and quit and you're done? Or are you just going to come with this sort of stoic mindset of just, it is what it is, I'll keep going. Okay, it's a challenge, it's an obstacle, doesn't matter, I'll just keep going. And that's where the macro stoicism comes in. And when these big events in the degree apprenticeship application process, again, this video, I'm specifically doing it in the context of a degree apprenticeship application process. And when these events happen, like you get rejected from here, you get rejected from here, this thing happens, right? They tell you you're ineligible, you're not allowed to apply to this one. Oh, you're not allowed to apply to this one. Oh, your grades aren't on this one. Oh, you get rejected. Oh, your interview wasn't very good. Oh, we gave the offer to someone else. Oh, we've run out of offers. And you get rejected from a dream one. That's where this stoicism comes in. Being able to deal with that bad news. Because the people who can't deal with it and get all upset and off the rails, it's like they quit. They quit. They don't do another interview. They stop working. They stop working on their interviews. They stop working on their applications because they're so downhearted by one event that happened. Because they took one thing too seriously. That's macro stoicism. This is going to keep you going through difficult times. And that's why I say this stuff is good for life in general. Okay, like just I would honestly recommend everyone try and take on more of a stoic mindset. Okay, if it's like on a spectrum of like emotional, I cry about every event that happens, to like stoic, right? That's not an E. That's not an E. Sorry. Yeah. I'd recommend everyone push as far as they can this way. Okay, so I might have been like here, and I'm now like here. Okay, so I've still got room to go. I'm not saying perfect. I'm not saying every event that's ever happened, I've never displayed feelings and without complaint in the last 12 to 18 months. But what I'm saying is, I've got better at it. And if you can push yourself further down the spectrum, further towards stoic, it means when these bad things happen, particularly with degree apprenticeships, but also in the world in general, you're going to be able to deal with it better and continue, rather than spiraling out of control. So there's macro stoicism. The other one is micro. And this one is super, super important for degree apprenticeship interviews in particular. Okay, because this is like a macro thing. Something happens, okay, fine. You need to go sort it out because the next day you need to go and work. Okay, like you like, okay, give yourself like 5 minutes recovery time, 10 minutes, 1 hour, one day. What it's like, that's the sort of scales we're talking, hours and days, whatever. But it's like you want to like within 24 hours you're back on it. I mean, not even 24 hours, within like an hour. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, macro stoicism is like a big time frame like this. Micro stoicism, what is this? This is where, when inevitably you're going to mess up in an interview question. So they're going to ask you a question, you're going to do it wrong, and you're going to know it. So they're going to ask you a question, you're going to try and say something, you finish speaking, okay? And what happens in these interviews is they ask the question, you speak, right? And then there's like 20 seconds where, usually, there's 20 seconds of silence where they're writing things down. That 20 seconds of silence, there's going to be a deafening sound in your mind, which is your mind telling you, bro, you just messed up. In your mind, you'll be like, what was that? What did I even do there? That was the dumbest thing of it. Like, you're just going to be like having a go at, you're telling yourself off, like, that was stupid. That was, why didn't I say this? You're just going to be having a go at yourself in that like 20-second silence. It's going to be a deafening silence with your own like conscience, with your own, the voice inside your head, right? Because you're going to mess up a question. I've done it, right? Whether it's you just mess up a question, whether it's you start answering a question, they interrupt you and they say, sorry, you're not answering the question there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the question and I'd actually like you to answer the question this time. Now, for a lot of people, again, you're going to hear that and then your mind is gone. Like you're out the game, okay? Because now you're in your head overthinking it, getting emotional about it, worrying about it, getting anxious about it. Which means when you get a second chance to answer the question, it's like your mind's a million miles away. Okay, you mess up a question, you're too busy worrying about it, the rest of your interview falls away. Because now you're worrying about it in your head for the next 20 minutes. What micro-stoicism is effectively, they ask you an interview question, you deliver the worst answer you could possibly ever give, like it was brain dead awful. Within 10 seconds, you're back to normal to answer the next question. That's what micro-stoicism is. Okay, so both of these are like, they can be difficult, but both of these are like two completely different purposes. This is for when you're getting rejected from like a company and you need to just get back to work. This is where you're in the middle of an interview and you mess up right in the middle, and maybe they even call you out on it, or it's your own conscience calling you out. You need to be able to reset within 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah, it's like, I think this is something I've developed. This one I've more developed over the course of my life. This one probably just recently in the last 12 to 18 months. Because this one you need this for everything. Okay, it's like A-level paper. Okay, you go into your A-levels, physics A-level, you open the first paper, the first question. The question's awful. 75% of the people in that exam hall, their heads drop. They're gone. And straight away they're like, boom, I don't know what I'm doing, I've lost the grade. And then their heads are down for the rest of the paper. And then the rest of the paper, they're just trying to claw it back. And I need this question. Oh, I failed the first question. I have to get the second question right. Oh, I can't do the second question. I've got to do the third question. And it's like basically just an endless repetition of that because they're getting so bogged down on it. But the micro-stoicism is like, the first question was impossible. Okay, that's kind of funny, but whatever. Anyway, I move on to the second question and I'm completely fresh. Right, and it's like you can go from fresh. It's like in football when it's like you're losing 2-0 and the coach at half time says, right, just imagine it's 0-0, just imagine it's 0-0, we're just going to reset. Because when you're losing 2 or 3-0, everyone's heads dropped, you all know you've lost. That's when it gets to 3-0 at half time, the game finishes 12-0 by the end because all of you, your head's dropped, your head's gone. So the coach says, no, just forget it's 2-0, we're just playing the second half. The second half, it's 0-0. Now you're actually going to be trying, your head's going to be up because it's 0-0. It's now even. So there's actually a chance of you doing well. Tennis, right? This was another thing, to be fair, which tennis I used to get very annoyed at. It's like you lose a point in tennis and you get frustrated at yourself. Like you might have seen it in tennis where they're all smashing rackets and all this sort of thing. Like I've done that. I've like smashed rackets. No, I haven't actually broken any, but I've done my fair share of like throwing rackets around and hitting them on stuff, right? And in that tennis game, you then have 15, 20 seconds to completely reset. Because it's a new point. Like you've lost this point. Okay, you did some stupid shot and the ball landed out of play, and you're beating yourself up about it. You're beating your racket up. But then it's like there's another point. There's a new point. It's completely fresh. You have to wipe the slate clean. That's what micro-stoicism is. It's like you're a fielder in cricket and the ball comes to you, you drop it, You have to get rid of it. You have to just wipe the slate clean. Because if you're still worrying about that, you're not going to be ready to catch the next ball, because you don't want the ball to come to you, because you don't believe in yourself. Because you've lost it. You've just lost your mind. You've lost your head. Your head's dropped. Okay? So these are two things I want you to think about. Okay, I wish I could give you a video like 5 ways to become more stoic. I don't actually know. I don't know. I think I became more stoic, but I'm not at a point right now where I could like analyze that and break down exactly what I did. Like, if I can work out what I did, then I'll let you know. Like, if there's some certain steps. But I think, to be honest, it was probably just consuming content related to this stuff. Like watching full-length podcasts from people who like inhibit a stoic mindset, from reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, which is a book, right? From reading sort of other sort of self-development, that's what it's called, self-help, self-development books to do with like stoicism and mindset. That's what did it for me. Okay, and maybe you're too busy right now to go and read a whole bunch of books and watch a whole bunch of podcasts, which is fair enough, completely understand that. So maybe it's just have a think about this. Okay, maybe it's go and follow a couple of these people on Twitter. Right, that's what my Twitter has become. Like, I initially had the Twitter to like post degree apprenticeship applications, but then it's like there's no point, because there are 101 other websites who do that, so there's no point with me wasting my time doing that. So now my Twitter is I just follow like a lot of it's just motivational stuff, or like quotes from different people, just because it keeps me going, sort of thing. So Seneca, Ryan Holiday, Marcus Aurelius. Go and follow some accounts like that. I think that's probably the way I did it, to be honest, is just overload yourself with stoic information until you just become more stoic. Because it's nurture, right? Because like nature versus nurture. It's just nurture yourself into becoming stoic. Like, expose yourself to more content. Like, when the TikTok algorithm pushes a certain style of content, it's like that's literally influencing the mind of Generation Alphas. If you don't know, like, Generation Alpha is like people who are born a generation after us. So most likely, if you're watching this video, we're Generation Z. So we're like 17, 18, 19. The people who are now like, I don't know, 12, 13 or 14 or something, I'm pretty sure they're Generation Alpha. Or maybe it's a bit lower. But like, they get influenced by stuff on TikTok. Like, there's a trend. There's a bunch of videos who do this, right? There's a certain ideology that's being pushed. Because they saw it on TikTok, a lot of people are now going to start taking on that ideology because they've been exposed to that content. So that's where you can either be a victim to that and be passive to that, and you're a victim to the algorithm and whatever these tech companies and other things want to push, then you can just consume all that content there. Or you can purposely go about in an active way and actively go about consuming content that's going to actively change your mind. That's going to actively change your beliefs. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. Consume stoic content, you'll become more stoic. Okay. So I think I'll leave it there, that video for today. So if at least one person found this valuable, I'm happy. I'm happy. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, or maybe something resonated with you, go and put it in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope that helps. So macro stoicism, that's what you need for when you're getting rejected, or when something big and bad happens. Micro stoicism is for those moments in your interviews or in your group exercise or in your presentation where you mess up and you just got to wipe the slate clean, and 5 seconds later, you're ready to go. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.